Welcome back. This is a box. There's something inside of this box that we're gonna unbox right after the fountain. There we go. Now that's a tool. This is the digging fork from Meadow Creature. Their steel digging fork. So with a regular Meadow Creature broad fork, I used it in the tropics quite a bit to dig up clumps of bananas, because it was really good to just stick that fork in the edge and dig bananas. And when I talked to Margot at Meadow Creature, and I told her that her tool up from New York was really, really good for pulling clumps of bananas down in the tropics. She says, well, that's a use we hadn't heard of before. So along those lines, I'm gonna try this new fork here, and we're gonna dig up this Musa Basju Japanese fiber banana that we grow as a chop and drop crop, biomass crop, and livestock crop. We're going to just use this fork and see if we can get in here and break off a piece of banana. And it should give us a good pry. The bottom of this has a nice angle on it, like the Meadow Creature does. And this is a lot of pressure on this fork. I'm really shoving it. A big problem that we've had with garden forks is that I can work harder than the fork can, and they break. So we want a fork that's strong, and the modern forks that you spend, $35 or $40 for, bend and break rapidly. So if this fork is stronger than that, that's a good thing. A lot of pressure on that fork. You can lever your whole body into it, Get underneath the base of that banana, break it off from the mama. Gonna have to go in there, but I'm actually kind of scared of wasps killing me. I was digging these bananas before last year and dug into a clump of bananas, and the wasps had built a nest underneath the leaves, which is if I were a wasp, I thought a beautiful tropical location underneath a nice green canopy of drooping leaf in a bunch of bananas. It sounds like an idyllic place to raise baby wasps. And so that's what she did, but she didn't know that I was going to come and divide that clump of bananas up. Gonna pass the banana test here. Come on. You can do it. So of course, when I started threatening the babies, unknowingly, the wasp poured out of the clump of bananas, and we were in trouble. That was a wasp. Where are you? Show yourselves, you monsters. I'll DDT this whole garden. I just cut that part. A golden orb weaver. I don't mind if you're in here. Eat some wasps. These years I've been protecting wasps, letting them grow so they eat the caterpillars in my garden, and then we destroy one house, one wasp house, and you're in big trouble. There we go. Pretty good here. Let's get this little baby out of here. Oh, we got two little babies in there. That's a baby banana, a peeper. call them in the industry. Damn it, it's falling down in the background. So there we go. So I'd say that did pretty well at that. We didn't break it. You can see it's made of extremely heavy steel. It's made for digging. So if you had hard soil, it's kind of important to have something that's not going to bend on you. Like I said, a lot of the modern forks just bend. Even ones that I thought were tough, they bend. And this fork is not bending. And we pretty much used it like a lever to pull that banana up. It's got a good dig to it. It's strong. And it's made in the United States, which you don't see very much anymore. This is a Clarington forged fork that I've had for over 10 years. It's forged steel. These used to be made in England, but now they're made in India, from last I heard. If I hold these two guys up, this one is definitely a little bit heavier than the Clarington forge. Of course, the entire handle is steel. There's a little bit of a shorter fork end to it there. You can see it's about, maybe an 1.5 inch difference on the end, maybe an inch. But that is probably not going to bend on you. You see this one's a little bit thicker, but it doesn't have the reinforcement right here. This also looks like industrial modernist. This is very pretty. So this is not a pretty fork at all. It's a straight up, you're going to work type of a tool, not a, it's beautiful, I want to hang it up and put a pot of flowers next to it. So both of them know how to dig. This fork is a very expensive fork, and this is a pretty expensive fork, but this fork is made in the US. There's not going to be tariffs on this either, and it comes from a company that I really trust. So we're going to be continuing to use this fork and enjoying it, and I will put a link to it below if you're interested in checking it out. And of course, the Meadow Creature broad fork is my go-to tool for a lot of stuff. This is a pretty standard old-fashioned gardening tool with a new spin on it. The broad fork is just a tool in a class of its own. But it's nice to see this fork. It's nice to have gotten one from Meadow Creature, and I'll put a link below. Thanks for watching. Until next time, may your thumbs always be green. I have a box right here, and inside of the box is something that we're gonna take out of the box. I have a box here, and we're gonna unbox the thing that is inside of this box. I have a box right here, and inside this box is something. This is a box.